Juggalos in recovery, man.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sober Soldier Sunday meeting of Juggalos in Recovery. I'm the host of this meeting. My name is D. If you don't know, we do have a website. We do have a Facebook, YouTube page, a Spotify. So if you ever need some help, pick me up. Check us out on our socials. Grab some merch, do whatever to support the cause. Um, I asked my friend Josh here to speak tonight. I met him last year at the gathering for the first time, and we had a great gathering. And I've been talking to him for the last year and a half so through these meetings and getting to know him. And he's a quiet guy, but when he talks, usually he talks with some meaning in it, you know. And I'm very interested to hear more of his story because I've only heard bits and pieces through the meeting. And just to see where this kid and the thing, you know, he's gone over the last couple years in the sobriety, you know, is an amazing, beautiful thing. And with that, I am going to let Josh tell his story of life, addiction, and his last 2 years of recovery.
Yeah, thanks for asking me to speak. Like it means a lot to me. Uh, Juggalos in recovery means a lot to me. Like to start off my story, I guess I'm kind of freestyling, but like when I was a kid, like I'm right my fourth step right now, so like it's starting out at my childhood, and like most of my childhood, like I didn't feel like a kid at all. Like I felt like a problem that needed to be dealt with, and like starting out with my resentments on my fourth step, it's like the first line is the same in all of them. Like I felt like an issue, like I felt like a problem, like I felt like I didn't, like I was a burden. And so that was like my idea of like my identity, like I wasn't a kid. And like when I got to school, like first of all, like I have a huge scar on my face. Like I had a birthmark removed when I was a kid. Like I was like a baby. It was like the potential for it to become cancer was like really high, and it was growing. So like their solution to that was to just remove it. So yeah, um before anybody asks, yes, I get my eyebrows done for half price. So no, but seriously, no, in school, like there was a whole lot of self-conscious issues. People didn't look at me like a new kid in school or nothing like that. It was like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with your face? Like that look on their, and so like like you could see how like the juggalo in me like was born. Like it, like I was always the outcast. Like I was always the misfit. Like I was always that freak. At least I felt like one. Like I had a few friends. I didn't really get friends until I got into middle school, and lo and behold, they were juggalos. They introduced me to ICP. It was 2009. Bang Pow Boom had just dropped, and like that was my introduction to ICP, and I was like, I can get down with this. But anyways, it wasn't so much the music that attracted me to the culture, like it was the love. Um, that's also when I started using. It started out with smoking weed, not because of I was hanging around with juggalos. It was just I was in a band. I was in a death metal band. I used to play bass, and like after we would do shows and stuff, like that was the thing to do was drink and smoke weed. But like I noticed that as soon as I started, like I didn't want to stop. Like the next day, like I was looking for anything that was left behind, like things that didn't get drank, and like I would take it home with me. And like it was always this lingering fear that that stayed with me of like running out. Like I don't want to be without it. Like I don't need to use it, but I don't want to be without it at that point. Like I didn't really see that as an issue. Um, in eighth grade, that was like that was like when my life had it felt like it hit a brick wall. Like I dated this girl for 9 months, and like all the shit that I went through in childhood, like the domestic violence, the broken relationships, like it really, like I didn't see it at that time, like I see it now, but like it really threw me for a loop because I was literally obsessed with this girl to the point where like I was suicidal at 14 years old. Like I didn't want her to talk to any guys. Like if she was talk to any guys, like I would threaten to beat them up, like all kinds of crazy shit. And like it was fear, like that insecurity, like that fear of like I'm not good enough, I'm a piece of shit, like nobody likes me. And when that relationship, well, it ended up, uh, she cheated on me with one of my friends at the time, and cheating back then was kissing. So I wish that's all fucking cheating was now. Good lord, you got buttholes getting licked and everything now. But anyways, like when that happened, like thinking back on being 14 and going through that, like it was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But like when I was 14 years old, like it felt like my world had fucking ended. Like I remember crying all the way home, like I was hysterical, and no, like I wanted to die, and like I say that because it's gonna come back up later on. It's like this cycle. Um, it's like this relationship with suicide. But yeah, I started using, and I started using every day. Marijuana progressed to K2 when K2 and bath salts were real big, and I started getting into legal trouble. And I broke into a store. I took all the K2 that they had, and I started getting in trouble with the law. And that was when I first got introduced to a 12-step program. And like it was really awesome to meet people that were in recovery. Because at 15 years old, or 16 years old, like I knew that I was an addict, but I had this idea in my head that if I stopped for a set amount of time, like a week, 2 weeks maybe, like I'd be cured. I wouldn't be an addict anymore. Or and it was like this, well, I can stop when I want to, but then when I stopped, like I wanted to die. And then I'd end up getting high because I don't want to feel like I want to die anymore. It's the crazy shit that only addicts can relate to. But yeah, high school came. I robbed my grandfather. I hit him in the head with a broken broomstick on bath salts in K2. Tried to rob him, and I did 9 months in juvenile detention. So um, I wasn't top dog or anything. Like I was like that kid that was afraid of everybody. Um, like I'm not a tough guy at all. But like what that did for me, like it allowed me to sit with myself. Like there was no distractions. There was no getting high. There was no girls to get obsessed with. Like and in that time, like I really like that was when the seed was planted of the 12-step program. And I got out. I celebrated a year clean at 18 years old. And yeah, but the Juggalo friends that I had when I was in middle school, like we fell apart. Like when I started getting in trouble, and like they were fine just smoking weed and drinking, but me flying off the handle with the shit that I was doing, like that, like I don't know, like maybe it was like that insecurity, like I'm a piece of shit, like I don't deserve this, like I'm not worthy of nothing. And like I never mended those relationships. Like I kind of left them in shambles. It was like one day like I'm like this great friend, and then the next like I'm fucking gone for 9 months. And then but no, fast forward to 2017. It's like a cycle of in and out of the rooms, trying to get clean. My focus free. How long this was I for using shit quick. Because I'm on a suicide mission. Like there is no like using to feel good or wait until after work to get high. Like I use because I want to die. And like it's like a crazy it's like a crazy duality. Like I wanna die, but using makes me feel like I don't want to die, but then without it, like I want to die even more. So like I was stuck. But anyways, yeah, 2017 I got clean. Uh, I celebrated 3 years. I got to 3 years and 9 months, and another relationship that I was in for 2 years ended. And but before it ended before it ended, if that makes sense. And like with 3 years and no 3.5 years, like I was contemplating suicide clean. And like that's when I found out the importance of the 12 steps. It's not so much about like what I get myself into. It's like how I handle myself. And it's like because the 12 steps, like they're designed to help me not fall into the pitfalls, like the traps. Like when I get clean, like I can get myself into all sorts of crazy shit that I don't know how to deal with. And like my go-to is isolate. Yeah, and like long story short, like relationship went sour. I wanted to die. Ended up getting smoking weed, and I didn't feel like dying anymore. But I couldn't stop. Like that's the craziest part about it. Like it helped. Like it saved my life, but it took my life at the same time. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. Well, I hope it doesn't. Um, but like it made sense for me. Like and then I started smoking meth, and meth just it was a living nightmare. Um, like once I start, I cannot stop. Like I want to die, I'm gonna die, and then I don't want to die. And I went to treatment again, again and again and again, probably like 10 agains, 10 of them things. And then I got out in uh, the last week of August of 2022, and I've been clean since. But the breakthrough for me was getting involved. I got introduced to Juggalos in recovery through Open Hearted Juggalos in recovery. It wasn't directly; it was like indirectly. Um, but no, like that was when I got connected. Like it, I think I skipped something. No, when I got a treatment, like like I fell into a trap where I wanted to die. But like I remember laying down on my bed crying, and I told my mom this was it yesterday. Yeah, laying on my bed crying, trying to think up of memories that like made me feel like life was worth living, and like I wanted to die so bad, but like I wanted to live, and I felt like I couldn't stop myself from killing myself over drugs. Like I didn't want to stay clean anymore. Like I didn't want to keep using anymore. Like I was at that crossroads of like I'm just ready to go, and I don't want to. And like I used to have to flip my pillow over because I couldn't even lay on it. Like it was soaked. Like it felt like a sponge. And uh yeah, chapter 17. It's a huge part of my recovery because like laying there crying. Um, like my favorite song from Ouija Mac is Route 17, and like if any song from Ouija Mac like describes the way I felt, it's that song. And it's like it's like two slit wrists trying to hold this strap, and the whole damn world's trying to hold me back. Uh, like I felt that in my soul, and like I'm just laying there, like this dude gets me. Um, like it reminded me of the culture, and um, like I had no juggalo friends. Like I thought being a juggalo was the issue. Um, that's all. That's all they do is drugs. But like this year, like it has been a juggalo awakening, like of sorts, like a spiritual awakening. It's like being a juggalo has nothing to do with drugs. It's about the condition of my heart. And like I ended up getting it. I got connected with Open Hearted, and I got connected with Juggalos in Recovery. And once I found out there was meetings, and I actually met you guys, and it was like, okay, these guys are really doing shit. You know, like my spirit took off. Like it has nothing to do with wanting to die. Like not only do I want to live, like I want to help other people live. And it's a beautiful thing. Like without Juggalos, like I wouldn't be alive. Like you guys saved my life indirectly. You have no idea. Just being in recovery, doing Juggalo shit, clean. Like you guys teach me how to love. Like my mom's driving me home from Juggalo, Ohio. Like she was willing to let me go in there by myself, but she used to call the cops on me on site. Better come get him. He's on that shit. Yep. Next thing you know, the cops are showing up. Like she loved me, but she was done. Like she knew that I was gonna die, and she didn't want to watch it. Like now she's over here trying to buy me snacks and shit. Like I have love in my life, and it's all due to this. Like I have a personality today. Um, like I go to meetings. Like I am a meeting maker. Like I make 6 meetings a week on average. I have a good relationship with my sponsor. My sponsor has a sponsor. Um, but this upcoming year, like I really want to get more involved with Juggalos in recovery and try to help another juggalo try to stay clean. You know, like because without you guys, like I wouldn't even be here. You know, like it's one thing like going to live meetings and stuff, but trying to get back to the people that saved me. I don't know, but yeah, that's all I got. I'm sure I missed some spots, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks, Josh. I mean, I can totally relate to your story, except for I didn't go to treatment 20 times. It's more like jails and juvies and prisons. But I mean, there's people in this room that know me from my teen years. There's people that know me now, and I think a lot of us that happens. We come from broken lives, and we have these broken feelings inside, and we do this vicious cycle of insanity with the drink and the drug, and we have all these other broken friends, and we all end up hurting each other, and we feel like we're not worth these people or these relationships, and we push the whole world away. And it has nothing to do with juggalo or not. That's just addiction shit. And when at least for me, when I came back into sobriety and realized like the culture had nothing to do with my drinking and drugging. My drinking and drugging all had to do with the eternal things I felt inside about myself and the world around me. And I learned to accept those and change those. And I was able to actually love and care about other people because I loved and cared about myself. Like that's what made everything change. And just like I discovered this little program and started talking to people into it and then started giving back to it. You know what I mean? Because let's be real, we've said it a million times, like our demographic, our culture is not getting any younger. We all were riddled with drug problems and all types of shit, and a lot of us are growing up and want to change and be better people like what we're supposed to be, and we want to be able to help our culture out and other people out that aren't in our culture, right? By showing that loving kindness that only juggalos seem to do, because we'll love each other in our darkest hours, even if there's shitty outcomes with it, you know? But with that being said, I'm gonna shut up. If anybody wants to raise their hand, share, speak on anything he said, um, fire away, unmute your mic, and hi to the couple new people I see in the room. James, Julia, what up? Go ahead, Em. You can unmute.
Hey, Josh, thank you so much for sharing. It was like so great to hear you speak. I totally resonated when you talked about like shit, I wrote it down. What did you say? Hold on. When being juggalo has nothing to do with drugs, it has to do with what's in my heart. I don't know if I talked about this to you, but I've talked about this in the room before about how I started gathering when I was 16 or 17, and then I stopped for a few years when I was focusing on getting sober, and like I believed that in my, even though it was such like a crucial part of who I am, I also like believed that so much of it had to do with getting fucked up. And like I took a break because I didn't feel ready to be back. And then when I came back and found JIR, it made me realize that this community was deeper than that, and that that all those things that I believed that were holding me together, like those were real, and it wasn't just because I was getting drunk. Um, and it's why this community is like so special, and it can remind us that like those pure things that we held before we started like self-sabotaging are still real, and we just like had to find them again. So thank you.
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I just want to kind of, echo the words that Emily was just saying, and thank you for your sharing your story. But yeah, I steered away from going to the gatherings and doing all of that. I'd still go to shows and do my thing, but I was this afraid is the word, like, because the era that I grew up in, the first two gatherings were pretty fucking wild. Like, it was all about getting fucked up, and the culture's changed a lot. And I don't think people really realize it. And like Dee was saying, we all get older. We're all getting older. A lot of us are, sobering up. And when I found Juggalos in Recovery and was able to come back to the gatherings and bring my son with me, and just realize that it's not what people think it is. It really is, and I don't think it ever was. Juggalo was all about being family. That's why I started listening to ICP. It wasn't necessarily about the music, even. Like, it was the magic that I felt when I went to the first show, and I was actually had like people that seemed to give a shit about me, and so yeah, I'm just happy to be here and happy to be part of this group. And thank you everybody for your sharing, and thanks Stanky, I appreciate it.
Well, if nobody else got nothing else, I'm going to end the live stream so you can feel more comfortable about talking and sharing, and I'll end the recording.